Tony Khan comments on Chris Jericho's AEW status, plus there were multiple injuries during All In that caused a bunch of Ring of Honor changes. We'll talk about it. Plus, Knox Pro is in crisis following the Raja Jackson incident from this past weekend. It's all in the Cultaholic wrestling news right now. Tony Khan led a media call ahead of Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor, which made us all go, oh wow, Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor's this weekend.
They plugged it like 3 times during Dynamite, and
Yeah.
I knew it was coming. It's in the ECW arena, and matches will happen.
That's exactly how it rolls. So Tony answered a whole bunch of questions, not just about Ring of Honor, but about AEW and business in general. And of course, Chris Jericho's status came up amid a lot of swirling rumor and innuendo about his future in the company. Tony Khan's comments, I didn't think settled anybody's concerns about him being gone.
Yeah, here's what he said. He says, I would never be where I am in AEW without Chris Jericho, nor would we be in the position where I bought Ring of Honor. So I'm very grateful to Chris. I think the world of Chris. I would love to have Chris back, and certainly he's been a great star for us since the very beginning of AEW and here in Ring of Honor as well. I'm very fortunate to work with him, so if and when the time presents itself, hopefully, I'd love to have Chris back. Oh, he doesn't even know himself.
Exactly.
I think the world of him, Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho has always been the highest standing with me and with AEW and Ring of Honor, where he's been a great champion, a great ambassador, a great leader, and a great friend to us all. Classic Tony.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like somebody who has got him down, like locked into a contract. It's more like, I'd love for him to come back. That'd be nice.
It's reminiscent of the Alexander Isak situation at Newcastle United.
Everything in the office is reminiscent of the Alexander Isak situation.
Eddie Howe would love to have him back, but he doesn't know if he can. He doesn't know where his head's at. But yes, would it be the Tony Khan? Don't know, Jeff, is the answer.
Yeah, it is a don't know, Jeff. Jericho continues to keep people guessing what his next move is going to be. He posted this on Twitter of him, I think, sat on a plane looking pensive with the caption, #contemplation.
What's he thinking about?
He's thinking about doing the Royal Rumble. He's thinking about what number will I come in the Rumble? I want to be in the Rumble. Put me in the Rumble. Trips, put me in the Rumble. Just want to be in the Rumble.
It's a weird situation for Tony Khan to be in, because obviously he's served his purpose and then some in AEW. But now in 2025, heading into 2026, when apparently the contract is up, I think it's better off that he just leaves AEW.
I think it's time.
Yeah, it is time.
It's very much time. Some question marks over some Ring of Honor titles, including the Ring of Honor Television Championship, held by Nick Wayne. Nick Wayne out with a broken foot. There's no plans to do an interim champion type situation with Nick Wayne because Tony says he'll be back soon enough.
Yeah.
So they're not going to worry about that too much. But there's been a lot of conversation over what feels like the last 4,000 years about bringing in a women's pure championship to Ring of Honor. There was a tournament in place and then a few injuries stopped that from happening. And it seems as if plans have been scuppered again.
That's because Tony Khan said a quarter of the women that worked the women's casino gauntlet at All In suffered injuries, and the tournament once again has been compromised.
A quarter of the women in the casino gauntlet.
It's cursed.
It's cursed. Suffered injuries. He said the bracket for the women's pure title tournament was set, and then this week they were holding off on announcements once more because another name that is factored into the tournament is Queen Aminata, who had her bag stolen in the UK and has only just got her replacement passport, so she's on her way back. Or she's not back already, but once again it meant that the women's pure title plans were put on pause. He said Queen Aminata alongside Deonna Purrazzo and Serena Deeb are in that tournament. Brackets coming soon. He spoke a lot about Deonna Purrazzo and was very vague about an incident that had taken place in CMLL that might have played into her being away for such a long time, along with injuries and other setbacks as well.
Yeah, he said whatever happened could it be a learning experience for Deonna? So what happened, I don't know. I don't know, Jeff.
I don't know. There's a lot of don't know Jeffs coming out of the press conference. But yeah, so because a lot of people have been curious as to the whereabouts of Deonna Purrazzo on AEW TV. They started doing those lovely segments where she was drinking a lovely glass of wine and going, wrestling holds. I quite like that. I like Deonna Purrazzo. And I thought this is going to lead to a thing, and then it didn't.
Yeah.
Jake Hager made some comment and said that they're really good at debuts and returns, and then it just kind of falls off the rails like a slightly broken Thomas the Tank Engine Hornby railway set as it gets going. And I feel like it might have happened somewhat with Deonna Purrazzo alongside a few other incidents and accidents and hints and allegations. But all being well, we'll have the women's pure title up and running by the year 2035. One could hope. But Death Before Dishonor this weekend. It's in the 2300 arena. I think we said this upstairs. The thing with the Ring of Honor pay-per-view events or the major Ring of Honor shows is that they historically, obviously they plugged it a lot on Dynamite this week and I was being a silly boy, but historically they don't get a lot of love, they don't get a lot of build. There's normally about 19 matches announced on the Go Home Ring of Honor for it, but one thing that is consistent as well is that in ring they always deliver. Yeah,
that's one of those shows, isn't it? It might not be sort of a Ring of Honor diehard week to week to week, but if you're going to tune into the show, you know you're going to get a good night of wrestling.
You're going to get a good night of the wrestling. We're going to end with an update on the biggest story of the week. It comes out of Knox Pro. It's the incident regarding Raja Jackson and Psycho Stu. By now you'll know the story of Raja Jackson, who got into the ring, took liberties with Psycho Stu. There had been an incident earlier in the day that had led to it, and Psycho Stu was taken to hospital. Sort of life-changing injuries coming out of that by the sounds of it. Psycho Stu's wife, Cortessa Patterson, wrote a message on the GoFundMe page that had been set up for Psycho Stu saying, "I'm reaching out to get support for my husband, Stuart Smith, better known as Psycho Stu. On August 23rd, he was involved in an unscripted assault that left him in hospital with intense recovery needed to regain good health. Stuart Smith is a US Army veteran who used wrestling as an outlet to deal with his PTSD. This incident has not only caused major physical harm, but will also disrupt his career inside the ring and outside of it. Any donation will be used to cover uncovered medical expenses, recovery support, and loss of income. Thank you so much for everyone's support. We will get through these trying times." Also, there was a comment from his brother as well, from just the other day, that said that he was awake and conscious and talking and getting constant visits from the Knox Pro family as well, which is good to hear. But in amongst all of this awful incident, Knox Pro Wrestling in a bit of a state of crisis today as a result of it.
Yeah, Douglas Mallow was a guest on the Masters of Wrestling. He revealed that there's big issues at Knox Pros have been seen with people losing their real life shoot jobs this week.
Yeah, AJ Mana.
Stuff about the don't talk to the police before you talk to us and that kind of stuff. There seems like a lot is going on behind the scenes. Mallow confirmed they were no longer affiliated with WWE, which we reported earlier this week, and said the promotion was facing some sweeping changes. He says, and I quote from what I heard, "Rikishi is going to overhaul everything. They lost a good number of students, and that breaks my heart because I absolutely adore Rikishi." That's a real. That's really the status right now. The students are dropping like flies, which is
like flies.
Horrible to hear, isn't it? Because the guy wasn't even in the promotion. It's just obviously it happened on their show, and there's obviously a lot of things that could have been done to prevent it happening. But it's just really, it's a shame to hear that, isn't it? The students leaving.
There's a lot of before, during, and after that could have prevented stuff like this happening amongst it all. Mallow spoke very highly of Rikishi. It's his school alongside Black Pearl, and said that Rikishi hadn't been in the building when the event took place. Had he been in the building, it would have been very different. He kind of alluded to some issues within Knox Pro, and I think whenever something like this happens, it really shines a light on the inner runnings of a promotion like this. Because the one thing that Douglas Mallow said was that Rikishi has a certain way that he wants Knox Pro to run, and when he's in the building, he will steer the ship in a certain direction. He'll then go out of town and go out on his business, and whoever's running it will just sort of drift it back to wherever it was going before. And then when Rikishi comes back, he lights some arses up, sets it back to what he wants it to be. He leaves again, and it goes off the rails again. So when he talks about this major overhaul, I think there's going to be a lot of heads rolling at Knox Pro, and some probably new blood brought in to kind of give it a fresh restart. I mean, do you go as far as renaming it, rebranding it? Because right now, like, the only thing that Knox Pro is going to be Knox Pro is going to be known for, one, it's Rikishi's school. And also, that's the place where Psycho Stu got beaten up for real by Rampage Jackson's son.
And I guess there'll be a fair few people watching this today who are like me, who hadn't heard of Knox Pro before this week, and this incident is what's brought Knox Pro into your world. So maybe a rebrand and just a total sort of just getting people on the same page and pulling in the same direction. Maybe that sort of like top to bottom, just rehauling of everything is needed.
It might be where we end up going with it, but of course, when we know more about this, we'll let you know more at cultaholic.com. It is a WWE PLE weekend. Clash in Paris. Takes place on Sunday night in, Paris. 9 pitches on the channel right now. Predictions. One of the most off-the-rails predictions videos I've ever seen.
I've not seen it yet.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Mate, within 4 minutes, they're talking about feet.
Are they? Oh,
yeah.
well, Andrew's on the video, obviously.
Well, yeah, they're both at it. And it involves a massive duck at one point as well. So that's exciting. So do go check that bad boy out. And then, of course, live reactions on Sunday.
Yeah, while the show's going on live right here on this YouTube channel, Tom will be here with What Happened At, in case you can't be asked to watch the whole show and want a little succinct rundown of the card. And then WTF will be on the Patreon next week, as will Forbidden Door. Me and Richard have hit a little bit of a hitch this week, and it's been delayed a little bit. So Monday, it'll be there, Forbidden Door, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, somewhere in that time frame, Clashing Pally WTF will be
Double WTF this week. Double WTF this week.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
Gobble, gobble. For patreon.com/Cultaholic. And for the very latest wrestling news at any time, you can check out cultaholic.com. Stay safe.
Goodbye.